artist of all time, very famous quote where he said, master all the rules. So once you master them, you know how to break them. Right? And that's where I feel like we are today. We have a company full of veterans that are getting stronger, that have mastered the rules. But I worry that the mastery of the rules is not why the rules were there. The rules were there to protect the customer. Okay. So, again, I'm going to start with this message and I'll end with this message. So before I get into too much of this, Entourage is growing. It's actually growing a lot faster than I anticipated this year. It's growing in a way that Ed and I probably had not anticipated. If you asked us 3 years ago, we always wanted to grow fast. We always wanted to grow responsibly. But we weren't sure what the avenues were. Right? We're growing very fast in our yearbook business. We're growing fast in our photography business. We're growing fast in our weed repeat business. Right? We're growing in a lot of different areas. Because of this growth, we're changing as a company. And I think it's a good change. But it's one that for those of you who have been here a long time, it's a change that you guys need to be hyper aware of. We're not as cyclical or seasonal of a business anymore. Okay? This is something that I've told the ELT before. Right? We're filling the gaps between when we're busy. We're busy all year. You guys who've been here a long time feel the difference, know the difference, yes? The plus of that is we've been able to take on more full-time staff, which is great. The plus of that is we have less seasonal staff, right? So this year, we usually hire an army of seasonal workers in the back office, in the front office. This year, we are not going to be hiring an army of workers for the front office. Right? We're going to be shifting people around. Photography is going to be filling in a lot of the CMT, right? So for us, this is a great opportunity 2 ways. One is we get to keep more people. We get to up the game for everybody who's here, right? And it gives us a platform so that we're not starting from scratch each year when we get into production season, right? We've got an experienced veteran crew every single year. Now, here's the minus for you veterans. Each year, every year when we got a new staff of seasonal staff, the veterans became the leaders and the seasoned staff became the trainees, yes? Now that we have a smaller seasonal staff, the bar has raised for our full-time employees, right? It's more obvious the people who are at Entourage for 2 and 3 and 4 years, whether you are improving at year 2 and year 3 and year 4 and year 5. And it's more obvious that if you are here for 4 or 5 years and you're doing the same level of performance, it's more obvious for the rest of us to see that. Now, Entourage is going to probably double in size in the course of the next 3 to 7 years. Right? This room in about 3 to 7 years will be about 100 people. Right? And I can say that with confidence because when I did this meeting 3 years ago, it was a much smaller crew of people. So I know what this feels like, and I know what this growth is like. Well, hopefully that'll go well.
You're also
security is important too.
You're live. You got 2 people watching.
Okay. Good. But the big theme of what you're going to hear about today
it's good, Nicole.
Is what can we do to become better? What can we do to become stronger? And when I talk about the we, I of course mean the we that is Entourage. But I'm also talking about every single individual in this company. Right? It's not good enough to do your job. For those of you who've been here a couple of years, it's not good enough to do your job as well as you did it last year. Right? That is no longer the bar. That was the bar before, but the bar now is no longer that. For those of you who are new, you're new. And we'll introduce all the new people. I'll ask all of the ELT members to introduce all the new members. I know we have a good new class that everybody in Entourage is super excited about. And usually a lot of times this meeting is more for the people who are new. But I wanted to really focus on the veterans. I wanted to focus on those of you who've been here for a long time. It's you that I'm asking. Those of you who've been here for 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 10 years. It's you that I'm asking to do more, to be better, to delight the customers. Okay? So let me go over the mission statement. I'll just read it to you first. It's important to me. How many people knew we had a mission statement? Better question. Who doesn't know we had a mission statement? All the new people, obviously, right? Anybody else? Who wants to give a shot at saying what Entourage's mission is?
I know it.
Anybody?
To attract, train, and retain the best yearbook.
It makes me sad to see people laugh while they say the mission statement. I understand what you're saying, but it makes me sad to hear you laugh. Right? This mission is very important to me. Very important to the company. It's worth it if we achieve it. If we all get centered around it, we all focus on it, we can get there. The last part about a mission statement is that there isn't a person in this audience that this does not apply to. Okay? So if anybody here thinks that this mission and these principles don't apply to you, that's not correct. Okay? I need every single person to think about this. I'll go over it in a second. Let me read it for you first. To attract, train, and retain the best next generation yearbook advisors in the world, to help schools develop the best programs for the future of yearbooks. Every single word is thought out as to why that was put there. Track, train, and retain. Sell, service, re-sign. Directly in line with what we do with the customer. Sell, service, re-sign. Critical to what we are as a business. It's a direct correlation to how we do financially. Next generation yearbook advisors, right? We are looking for people who don't want to make the yearbook that their parents had 20 years ago, right? We are looking for people who says, you know what? I want to make a yearbook, but I want to make it better than it's ever been made before. I want it cooler than it's ever been made before. I don't want my kids to look at the book and be like, wow, that yearbook's great. It looks just like the one my mom got 30 years ago, right? We don't want that, right? We want the yearbook advisor who says, listen, I want the book to be cheaper. I want it to be faster. I want more events in the book. I want to do more cool digital markers in the book. I want it to be more affordable than it's ever been before. I want to put more creative infographics and designs. I want to use the latest in creative design trends in my book, right? We want those people. We want to attract those people. We want to train those people, and we want to keep those people. To help schools develop the best yearbook programs for the future of yearbooks. This is a very important one. Yearbooks have been around for 100 years. The number one question that when I get questions from the media, when I get questions from newspapers, when I get questions from people outside the yearbook industry is, how long does yearbooks have to live? What's the runway left on this industry? And I give them all the same answer. Yearbooks will be around for as long as people want to remember their time together. Now, whether or not it's a printed book, hardcover, whatever, how it looks, very difficult for me to predict. I can tell you statistically, we do a survey of our principals. We ask them every year, do you plan on having a yearbook program 5 years from now? Will it be bigger or smaller? Answer hasn't changed. We will always have our yearbook program for the next 5 years. We don't plan on making it smaller, right? Statistically, that doesn't change. But what does change is they say, but we want to do more. We want more digital components to it. We want it to be more affordable. We want it easier to make. We want it more personalized. We wanted this. We wanted that, right? In order for us to survive as a yearbook company, and not just survive, but thrive as a yearbook company, we need to think about not only the yearbooks that we're making today, but what should a yearbook look like next year and the following year, right? What can we bring to the industry to change the industry, to change the way fundamentally American families think about yearbooks? What can we do to do that? Okay? We are just 40 or 50 people out in the quarter, and plus our remote workers across the country at Entourage. And many of you probably don't appreciate how much influence that Entourage has on the yearbook industry. But having been here at the founding of the company, having spoke to the CEOs of the other yearbook companies, having spoke to hundreds and thousands of schools over the years, Entourage defines the yearbook industry. Right? There are practices that did not exist that we trailblazed into the industry. It's well known, right? Turn times, technology, contract terms, all of that. We brought that to the industry. And I'm not done. And I hope you guys aren't done either. One of the things that I spend a lot of time with, and I'll pause for just a second before I get into the principles. For those of you guys who work very closely with me, those of you who work with me on a daily basis, so Nicole, Caitlin, ELT members, you guys know that I spend a ton of time convincing people that they can be more than what they think they can do. I spend a majority of my time trying to convince people that they are greater than they think they are. Please, let me see some head nods over here.
Yes.
Right? That's what I spend a majority of my time doing. I don't spend a lot of time. I had a 30-minute meeting yesterday with my web team. I spent 20 minutes telling them they are so much freaking smarter than what they give themselves credit for, and 10 minutes about what they should do next. Right? That's literally what happened yesterday.
That's why you guys were laughing when you came out.
Now, I say that to you because that is not something that I just say to the people I interact with. That is something I fundamentally believe about every individual in this company. So even though I don't get the chance to work with you every single day as intimately as I would like, I want you to know I truly do believe every single one of you has a very important job at Entourage. And if I didn't think your job was very important, your job wouldn't exist. For those of you who know me, you know that's the way I think. So there isn't a job, there isn't an individual in this company who I don't think is vitally important to this mission. We wouldn't have created the position. We came along and we said, listen, we need this person in this place to do exactly this job because we need it to succeed in this mission. I need each and every one of you to internalize this and to believe, right? At the end of the day, that's what I usually ask of almost everybody. Just believe you can make this happen. Believe you can be part of this mission. Believe you can make this happen. That's what I ask, okay? And I'm telling you, we will make it. Every single one of you believe that we can make this impact. Those of you who are here, and I say this all the time, so I'll say it again this year. For those of you who are here, and I'm not talking to my veterans now. My veterans, you guys, I know you guys are here because you believe in Entourage. But for those of you who are new, you're here because this is a job, pays bills, you're just looking for something and it just happened to be that we gave you the offer. This is not the company for you. Right? This is not. And I've said that to all the new people who've been competing. You want to be part of something where you grow, where what you do matters, where your opinion matters, right? Where you're going to learn more here than probably a lot of other opportunities. I've been told that myself. Entourage is a learning ground. Maybe not the most well-defined learning ground, but it's a learning ground. This is the company for it. So let's go through principles. The reason why principles are important is that in the process of getting our objectives, you guys will run into situations where you will not know what to do. Okay? You will be challenged in your values. A customer will talk to you and ask for something, and it will be against our policies. right? Or it's not going to be not well defined as to what your role is. So we have the principles to help guide you, because sometimes your boss isn't going to be there. Sometimes I'm not going to be there. And I need you, every single person, to make the right decision every single time. Number one, provide the best yearbook product, service, technology, training, and support. In order to attract the best, in order to train the best, and in order to retain the best, we got to provide the best, right? We got to have the best customer service. We have to have the best yearbook templates. We have to have the best yearbook software. We have to have the best training, the best webinar, right? Can't be just good enough. Now, don't get me wrong. It's hard to have the best of anything, just because you want it. What I'm asking for is not just have the best, but try. Try to make everything you do better. You do a webinar. Do it better the second time. What can you do to do it better the second time? If you take a customer service call, try to say, what could I have done to provide a better customer service experience? If you have a sales lead and you win it or you lose it, sometimes in the losing, you get the biggest lessons in sales. When you lose it, what could I have done better? What could I have done better? That, to me, is what this message is all about. Number two, we live by a philosophy of delivery. Fundamentally, at the end of the day, you'll see us say it all the time. What we say we will do, we do. Right? That means anybody here who says that we're going to do something for a customer, you're all going to back you up. You say, listen, we're going to take care of that for you. That means we're all going to back that up. It's very powerful, this statement. Because sometimes you might come along and say, listen, I'm going to do this for you. And then it turns out, you guys have taken those customer service calls. Oh, that person shouldn't have said that. Right? That person wasn't authorized to say that. This gives you the power. And with power comes responsibility. Right? So be careful what you say. If you tell somebody, hey, I'm going to get that book to you by next Friday, you just put us all on the hook. From Ed to me to all of us. We all going to break our backs to get that book to them. Now, we'll be unhappy if it breaks our policies, but we will do it because we live by this as a philosophy. We need our customers to know that we believe this and we live it. Third, we must be efficient entrepreneurs. All right? This is an important one. This is a point about balance. Okay? We have to attract the best. We have to be the best. We have to always be honest in what we say that we will do, we will do. But at the same time, we must do it in a sustainable way. We must do it sustainably individually. So if you're working too hard and you feel like the job's getting too tough, you've got to talk to us. You've got to talk to each other. If we're doing something wasteful in production and we're not recycling or whatever, then we've got to start talking about what we've got to do there. If we're servicing a customer, and because we service this customer, 99 other customers are going to suffer, that is not sustainable. Right? So everything needs to be done in balance. There needs to be judgment. To say, can't just say yes to everything. But at the same time, we can say, listen, we will do our best. But I have to balance that with the fact that we've got a lot of other customers that also need the exact same. Last, but not least, we must create a company culture that attracts, trains, and retains the best yearbook professionals in the industry. Okay, and this is what I'm here to ask you. I'm super happy with where we are today. I think we've got the strongest staff that we've ever had on Entourage. We've got to do more to train everybody, to motivate everybody, to create a working environment that makes everybody be the best at what they do. There's a series of new initiatives that we're rolling out this year. QC Black Belt, we've had that for how many years? 4 or 5 years. We're rolling out QC Black Belt, second degree QC Black Belts. So we got to be stronger now. We're rolling out BWE West, second level tech support. We got to be stronger now. Last year you saw we did data analytics training because we got to be stronger now. We rolled out photography training because we got to be stronger now. But training and attracting and retaining the best employees, it's not just about the formal training programs that we have. It's also about how we train and coach each other. Right? Again, I'm looking at everybody. Right? course, looking at my Yale team members because I depend on you guys a lot. You guys do great with your departments. But there isn't a person in this company that doesn't have a responsibility to their peers. And I ask you to take that seriously. How many people watch the Super Bowl on Sunday?
Unfortunately.
Patriots fans. All Eagles fans, right? Okay, Eagles.
No.
Or just non-fans. Okay. I'm not a huge football fan, but I looked at this. And, you know, these are two teams that are the best of the best, right? They embody this last one. Attract, train, and retain the best football players in the league, right? That's literally what they did. That's what got them to where they are. Now, what's exciting to me about this is, was every single the Eagles won, we all know that. Was every single person on did the Eagles have the best quarterback in the entire league?
No.
That day they did. No, they didn't have it. Did they have the best tight end? Did they have the best four? But yet they're the best team. Right? And a lot of that has to do with how they build each other up, how they treat each other on the field, how they treat each other when they do something great. They celebrate it. They high-five those touchdowns. But I found what was really interesting, and this is not a Super Bowl thing. It just made me think about it. This is when they had the bad plays, how they acted. When somebody screwed up, right? And you see how they shake it off. You see their team members still give them the high fives, right? How they come back and they say, listen, I'm going to play even harder now, right? They shake up. You can see some, I don't remember the exact plays, but you can see people make errors in their plays, but they'll come back and they come back stronger the second play. They don't let that carry them down. Their teammates don't hold it against them. They said, listen, brush it off. We're going to make the next play. Right? So this track, train, and retain, it's not just about the formal programs. It's not just about the coaches. It's about the players and how you treat each other. So I ask you guys, please, help me make this into a championship team. Help be a part of a championship team. Okay. All right, I'm taking a little longer to go over this stuff, so I'll just end with the same message that I said I'd start with. Let me just make sure I made all the points. End with the last message. So I'm going to be putting these signs up around the company. I'm going to be talking about ELT, about providing some type of rewards for people who are doing this. But I want you to take this seriously. Delight our schools, right? It means thinking about what we can do creatively. So that if a customer says, I need some help with something, and you provide them that help, they can stop and be like, wow, they really helped me, but they really want the above and beyond. This is what I'm asking you to do. This is what we're capable of doing. We're so good at yearbooks that the yearbook company, our competitors, regularly are scared of us. The biggest strength and weakness about our direct yearbook company, by the way, is one of the best and worst things to have the Corey who runs our indirect channel. Right? They're so scared of us that they say, you know what, you guys keep taking our schools, I'm going to have to work with you. How many photographers said that in these past
had
years?
at least 5 conversations in the month of January of school photography companies that also offer yearbooks, and we're doing their yearbooks in the photography accounts. And they said basically, you can't beat them, join them.
Nice.
Awesome. We're so good at this. But my point is that we got to be better. We are, what I see a lot of times and what I worry about is we do what you guys are told to do. You guys do what you're told to do, which is great. But I'm trying to raise the bar. To just do what you're told to do is not good enough. Okay? I'm looking for people who are on board to delight the customers this year. I want to have more delighted schools this year than Entourage has ever had before. And I promise you it's worth it. We have it. It will go directly toward our mission of attracting, training, and retaining the best yearbook advisors in the country. All right? Okay? All right. Thank you very much, guys. So with that being said, I'm sorry it took 30 minutes. I was hoping to do it in 20, but I'll ask the ELT members to please give an update. Got about 30 minutes, and then we'll finish off with Jay Street giving us a couple of HR updates, which I know everybody's going to be interested in. Larry, why don't you take this one?
You're good right there.
Hi, everybody.
Hey, Larry.
For those that don't know me, I think everybody knows me. I'm Larry. I'm the director of account management, and I'm responsible for making all of our customers happy for the most part. I think that coming into this year, we had a little bit more turnover in the last year than we were expecting. But I think we've come out stronger as a result of it. We've got some awesome new people. Two of the new staff, we have Paige, who just started this week. So welcome, Paige. For anybody that hasn't met her, Paige is Billy's new assistant, and she's been doing an awesome job absorbing all of the ridiculous amount of information we did when we trained. So thanks for sticking with us. And Heather's been doing an amazing job as my assistant. She was thrown into the fire. I was gone for 2.5 weeks with my new little girl, and Heather was basically thrown to the wolves. So thanks for taking that with stride. I appreciate it. I'm just going to throw some numbers at you to let you know kind of where we're at after the new year. We've got 20% more calls this year so far. Starting January 1st, we've got 1,200 versus 1,000. So that's really good with the same number of people as we had last year. So that's a testament to how well everybody is with taking the phone calls. Cover approvals, we had an awesome cover approval run last year, and we're up 6.5% overall from where we were at this time last year. So currently 2,000 ahead in February. So I'm really happy about that. I think we could extend it even more, and that's one of the main conversations that we're having with our customers, and that's one of the main things that we're pushing because we want to make sure that Ed and Mike have plenty to do. But one of the major things, and I'm going to go into two separate things that go along with delighting our customers. One of the things that we've pushed both with technology, Nicole's turned on a button in Ed Online that makes live chats vastly more accessible for our customers than ever before, and it's worked. We've had 570 live chats since January 1st versus 411 last year at this time. So it's a 40% increase. And I think that in addition to the additional calls, it shows that our customers, I think, in a lot of ways are a lot more active right now. They're reaching out for help, and I think that we're doing a great job giving it to them. But one of the main things that I'm trying to push and I'm trying to train with our customers this year is design reviews. I know I've thrown out a number earlier this year, how many more design reviews I feel like we're doing this year versus last year. And by this point, from January 1st to this point last year, we did 3 design reviews as a team. This year, we've done 17. So, I mean, it's an increase of 600%. I mean, obviously, it's 3 versus 17. It's not. We're not talking about thousands here. But in addition to that, and half of them are mine because I've been lucky. But typically, what I wanted to do is I wanted to change what a design review is. So customers come to us, they say, hey, can you look at my book? Can you give me some feedback? Can you tell me what I did wrong? Can you give me tips on what I can do better? And we came up with a design review 2 years ago as an attempt to do that. But we did so by putting it through our pre-check system and running a report and sending them a report on it. Fine, that's fine. And my team will back, what I've been telling my team, what I've been doing is I want the design review to turn into a one-on-one conversation. It's going to take longer, could involve a go-to meeting, but I want it to be a training session. I want to spend some time on the phone with the customer, and I tell this to the 8 that I've done since January 1st. I want to be on the phone with you. I want to go through your pages one by one. I want you to tell you what our rules are. I want to tell you what kinds of things you need to fix, what kinds of things we normally look for in QC. And they appreciate it a lot. They love it a lot more than the other design reviews that they've gotten in the past. So after the year, I'm going to talk to Nicole about changing the verbiage of what a design review is. And I want to push these types of things because I think it's going to make a better yearbook advisor, and I think it's going to make a better relationship overall. And going back to delighting our customers. So I think we're a step in the right direction as far as that's concerned. And all my design reviews have been super positive. They've always, it's like 45 to 60 minutes in some cases, but whatever. It makes a customer happy, so it is what it is. I've got high hopes going into the production season. I think we've got the strongest team we've ever had, and I don't really have much else to say than that. But, one of the, as far as phone calls are concerned, and this is going to go with the you guys are going to be doing CT again, obviously, right? You did it last year. When you're taking a call from a customer, and you start to learn the repetition and everything, I've talked to Paige about it, I've talked to Heather about it, you haven't been through a production season yet. You start to get the same phone calls over and over again, and you start to have the same conversations over and over again. And anybody that's taken over 1,000 phone calls over a couple months knows that. You can start to recognize how the conversation is going and what they're going to be asking before they ask it. I tell my team this all the time. If you know that that's going to happen, you know what questions they're going to be asking, you answer those questions before they're asked. When you start taking the phone calls, you'll understand what I mean. It may sound a little strange, but if you say, oh, okay, so they asked about this about the software, well, they're probably going to ask about that about the software next. And so often I'll be on the phone with somebody and they'll say, and I'll answer the next question. They'll be like, oh, wow, yeah, I was about to ask that. Thanks. Thanks for answering that. It creates this level of trust, and it creates this level of dependency that we need. And that's the stickiness. That's the stuff that we really want with our customers, it gives us that edge that we can't promote in sales. We can't tell somebody that in sales. It has to be something that's the re-sign aspect of it, the thing that wants our customers to come back. If you guys think of a way to sell that, great. But that's a very difficult thing to do. So anyway, I'll stop on that. Thank you.
I'll keep it short since it's more production season. Sales overall did very well. We did 12.4% ahead of last year. So great job, sales team. We did 14% more photography. So we were selling hard on photography. Photography is changing, so we're going to see how that affects the numbers. So overall, my eyesight is getting bad. 2018, we sold 9,783,000. 2017, last year, we sold 8,702,833. So wonderful job, sales. We continue to ever change and grow because the competition is very fierce. So account management team, accounting usually do not like us because they're policy oriented. And like Elias said, we have to have a lot more flexibility in order to beat those competitors. So please don't hit us when we promise stuff that we don't, necessarily fall in line with policy. But it's an all effort to be more competitive. And this year, trimming has been like a thorn on our side, and so we have to be a little bit more creative. So to keep it short, there's 2 members that have joined the sales team that I would like to introduce you to. Caitlin Penny, all of you know her, transitioning from marketing into sales, and then she's a rock on the team. And Jessica Jones.
Our first Marvel superhero.
Yeah. I think a superhero, but she is truly a superhero in that sense. A couple of updates, and I'll let the other segments give their updates. But for high school and in particular, it's a huge selling season for next year. So we want to kind of focus on the larger high schools. And so this year we're going to try something different. We have outside sales and we have direct sales, and we're going to kind of do a joint effort in combining. So Will is here, and I think we're going to kind of work together to kind of hit the New Jersey market together, and we're kind of rolling out the plan. So you'll see a lot of the high school salespeople just hitting the road. So that's all.
Will, why don't you talk a little bit about what you've been working on too? So. Sorry to put you on the spot, but just in case there are people who
right now, we just kind of hired a new team for outside reps. My plan was to have this month right now to go after elementary schools. We know that a lot of elementary schools are starting to sign right now. High schools are towards like later parts of the year. But right now, we're just putting out campaigns, make phone calls, put out flyer campaigns, things like that. But like you said, we're just together and doing stuff. So we're putting it right in, put a plan in stone and forward. I know we have the PTO and PTA that's coming up next month. So we need Jason on there, and I plan on bringing home a lot of leads from that event.
How many salespeople are we looking to bring on?
Oh, for the team, it's going to be trying to start off with these 3 reps. Like we have Chanel come back on March 1st, right? So everybody, whoever remembers Chanel, she'll come back March 1st. She'll cover half of part of the Philadelphia area. We're going to bring on someone else to the other part of Philadelphia. And then I want to bring another rep to cover like either Essex or Hudson County. And from that point on, direct sales, South Jersey. So we can cover the whole New Jersey. Right now, I'm covering Middlesex, Mercer. I've been all around Newark, right? So I'm kind of like want to stay in Newark. And like I said, we're going to get Hudson County because I know at the end of before she left, she got 2 big leads. One school was 40,000, the other one was 22,000. So you know that Hudson is a good area for the goal attack. So that's the plan right now. So we're trying to like maximize. Take over, try to increase the market share.
Thank you very much. Jason, why don't you finish up our sales? Jerry, we're going to skip you just because you've been out for this.
All right. Hello, I'm Jason McCoy. I head the elementary segment here. And just to kind of piggyback off of what Will said, elementary now more than ever is in a very unique position because we kind of understand that we do have competition out there. So one of the things that we're trying to do is understand the difference between Entourage and other companies. So one of the things that I know that we're trying to implement is new technology, something that maybe whether it's personal pages or other things that other companies do provide, if we provided them, then we'll pretty much be unstoppable because we are a better company. And I think that just saying that, sounds very cliche, but it's something where our customer service actually cares. A lot of customers that I talk to tell us that, Tree Ring or whoever else out there, they get the loop, they get the runaround. So I think if we implement, the technology and build up Entourage even further, then we can just kind of clean up once again, kind of like what we've done during the start of the company, just getting as many of the elementary schools as possible. I think that a shift is definitely happening. Once we figure this out, it's going to be very, very good. So I also work with Alan Fowler and Layla Coyle, and they are pretty much my backbone. And they're very concerned about the customers, sometimes to the point of extreme stress. So I actually came up with a saying, I think I heard it on Facebook actually. But it's don't light yourself on fire to keep other people warm. And I just drill that into their head because more Layla, she does a lot of things from like other departments that might not be her job, to be quite honest. But even so, I know it's because she cares. She wants the customers to be happy. And, coming from a customer service background, I appreciate that. But sometimes I have to hone her in or kind of focus her and say, hey, we're trying to bring in the money, so if it's a tech call, pass it off the tech. But real quick, like I said, we're going to be more aggressive. Like Will stated, we will be attending a PTA conference in Edison this March. And attending the conferences, I want to make this a habit of elementary, only because it allows us to get to know who we're serving. It will help us understand the needs and pitfalls at the elementary level and who our competitors are, quite honestly. I want to also include PTA members in the building and planning process, because it's not like high school or other, like middle school where there's one person making the decision. There's a group of members who are like we're telling the advisor one thing, and then the group is deciding with the person. So I want to make sure that we're all together, that I know who the president is on the PTO or the second in command is there. And I think that would help us to delight our schools, knowing that we actually care who's on the staff. And finally, as we go into production season, things will go wrong, and we need to ensure, especially on the elementary level, that we will do what we say, and customer service will be available when needed. So I think moving forward, we definitely want to we want to be helpful, but we also know that we need to be flexible in that we need to make a change. We should, and talking with everyone else, the managers, to seeing what's the best approach. Not trying to go it alone, but knowing that we do have a team here in Entourage who can help us do that as well. So, thank you.
Real quick, delighting our schools, delighting our customers. Hi everybody, I'm Corey Tomsek, Director of Partners, Department Segment. Just for the uninitiated, Partners is wholesale. We sell to resellers that actually sell our product in the schools, whereas the vast majority of Entourage Yearbooks income is direct-to-school retail, where we go directly to the school. Just want to talk quickly about delighting our schools, delighting our customers. I think of it as if I'm having somebody over to my house as a guest, they're my guest, and that's how I want to treat all my customers. I'm not going to make them ask me for something to drink. I'm not going to make them ask me where the restroom is. As soon as they come to the door, I'm going to anticipate their needs. Say, hi, how you doing? Can I take your jacket? Would you like something to drink? The restroom's right over there. Please sit down here. That kind of thing. Start asking about it now. When somebody calls on the phone, just like Larry said, you're going to have so many repetitions when you're talking to people. You know what they need. Hold their hand all the way through the entire process. Don't just wait for them to ask you things. Be proactive. That just shows that you are thinking about them. You're a thoughtful person. We're a thoughtful company. We care for our customers. So have that type of attitude with your customers. Take care of them. Okay? And they'll keep coming back. Just real quick about partner channel. It's kind of in two segments, the partner channel. We have our largest partner, our partner reseller up in New York City in all 5 boroughs, breaking into Bergen County, actually. I've been to about 5 different, very large high schools in Bergen County. So we get that covered well, with just lets you. I know this channel conflict is going to be a thing moving forward, but that's a good thing. Any growing company, you're always going to have channel conflict. And we're going to set up some rules to try to avoid it as much as possible, but we're going to bend those rules because we're responsible entrepreneurs and we're expert at the rules. Smooth 2017 actually delivered $691,000. This year, Smooth so far in 2018 is signed up for $944,000. That's an increase of 37% in 1 year. They're doing fantastic. Some of that's going to fall off, but I still think they're going to scratch that $1 million mark. Partners. This is everything not Smooth. 2017, $574,000. That was in 2017. That was the biggest year ever for Partners. 2018, we're at $948,000. It's almost $1 million. Just the partner channel. We already introduced Paige Conley, but welcome to the team, Paige. Just hang in there. You're here after 1 week, so that's a good sign. The partner growth is 65% over last year, and the trajectory. And I gave the analogy of a snowball. We just kind of had to pack that snowball last year and keep rolling it. It gets bigger and bigger. Now that we keep doing a good job, I don't have to do the marketing for me. Our customers are all parts of groups of friends that are professional photographers. They say, hey, who are you using for yearbooks? Call Corey. Entourage Yearbooks is fantastic. We got excellent books, great technology, and the customer service is off the charts. So those 3 things, if you keep doing that, that snowball gets bigger and bigger. Now it's rolling downhill by itself almost. People are calling me, and I'm like, oh, who are you? You're recommended by so-and-so? Fantastic. We can help you out. Let's see, what are we doing to get ready for production season? We are, well, the definition of insanity, everybody knows that. It's doing the same thing again year after year and expecting a different result, constantly hitting your head against the wall. So we're trying to anticipate problems before they happen. Well, and what we're doing is, one of the biggest things is account audits. So there's going to be lots of data entry and data checking page coming up here over the month of of February. So get ready for that. But that's really going to allow us to really get in there in our specific accounts and admin. You're going to learn admin like the back of your hand, and you're going to know specific accounts. Someone's going to call and you're going to say, "Oh, I remember looking at every single upgrade that they have. I remember, they have a special thing that we have to do for them," that type of stuff. So we're going to anticipate problems before they happen. That way, the escalation web spreadsheet is much, much smaller this year, and we'll be asking Ed for one-day rushes. So that's all I got. Good luck, everybody. Have a great production season.
Nicole, you want to go next?
Not yet.
For those who are at the tail end here, if I could ask you to try to keep it to a minute or two, just because we are running out of time.
Okay, that's all really fast. All right, so I'm Nicole. I'm the leader of the web team. So I basically just wanted to reiterate the new features that have been released over the past couple weeks, because there's been a lot of them. We're really excited about it. So I sent emails about it, but there's a lot of emails, so I figured getting you off here and telling you about it is the best. So, first and foremost, the HTML5 uploader, so that our photo uploads no longer deal with Flash. Yay! And that's on Kristen. She's been a labor of not love for poor Kristen, but she's taking it 99% there today now. So she's pretty excited about that. So yeah, okay. So other things that have been rolled out is there's been a lot of people page fixes. So the ability to use custom fields in our people pages this year again, because with our rollout of the new people pages last year, that feature was taken out. It's back in there. So that's good. We also have a lot of customers now on the HTML5 designer, not the Flash designer, since Flash is getting phased out. So we have about 1,000 of our customers on the HTML5 designer out of our 4,000 customer base. And going forward, that will probably start to become more and more, but you won't actually have to change them over in admin. So there's a new thing implemented that if they try to load the designer and they're assigned to Flash, and they don't have Flash installed on that browser, it's automatically going to load the HTML5 designer without asking them. So you should stop getting phone calls that say, it says Flash is not enabled. That's great. We also made the ability to save custom colors. So if they make a custom color on one of their pages and actually save it on that page, it will then go into all their other pages and they can name it something specific. This is great for school. Yes.
I'm sorry. I know, wasn't it a couple years ago we were not doing that because it was slowing down the loading time of the page?
Good question. So, yes, extreme amount of colors can cause slowing down of the page. So if the school goes insane and saves hundreds and hundreds of colors, their pages will load slower. At that, we're praying that people just don't do that right now.
Okay, just want to check.
But yes, you're right. The Android app was re-released yesterday with a bunch of fixes, so that should be good to go. I know the account managers were very worried about this, but the screenshot worker has been updated, and for the past 3 days, I'm sure you guys have noticed, you haven't complained about the screenshot worker being down. Two last things. Production season. So it's coming in a couple weeks. We will do all of our updates as much as possible before March 15th. After March 15th, Ed Online and updates kind of go on a pause because we have a good version of the designer and we don't want to break it while customers are going crazy. So just look for extreme updates for the next couple weeks and then a big pause for production season. And then last but not least, the High School Advisors Conference is happening again this year for you guys who want to tell your accounts about it. It's July 25th through the 27th. Last Wednesday, Thursday, Friday of July. So far, I have 14 schools registered for it. I will be sending a physical mail piece to our largest high schools throughout the country. Tell them about it with a promo code to waive the registration fee for them. But if anyone else wants to tell their schools about it, that's when it's happening. The link is on our website. Okay, that's it.
What?
Is that value?
Yeah, value.
Hey, good job.
After Tiana, maybe you can go ahead.
Very talk super quick.
Okay, so, you know,
I felt like I was on
Tiana, the accounting manager. This is my 8th production season.
That's a lot of production.
So, you know, this year, accounting, as far as what we make, what we do, primarily, we're not going to really try to reinvent the wheel. We're trying to bring in as much money as fast as possible. One of the things that will be different this year is that we've been asked to take over, I've been asked to take over escalations. So that is going to be taking place as we go into production season. I will be the person that you guys come see when things arrive, as they often do. The one thing that I ask, you know, if you guys work in production season, especially our new people in customer experience, just take a minute when you're talking to the customer, when you're dealing with them, whether it's via email or phone, just consider how the things that you promise them and the choices that you make for them will affect their end customer experience. Whether that be doing something that steps away from policy to get their book in on time, overriding payment issues, all that stuff, just take a moment to consider how it will affect their end customer experience, because I promise you it will. Outside of major, you know, primary billing responsibilities, what we're really doing right now is just anticipating issues and developing certain solutions to help train behavior of both customer experience team and the sales team, and to also develop systems that will help to level the expectations of the customer. And right now, we're also working on initiatives to both save and generate more capital so that the sales team can be more flexible and competitive as they go out and try to win business. And we're also, in an effort to delight our customers, going to be begging and pleading with the web team to develop some new features that will just make for easier overall payment and billing options for the customer as they finalize their books. Oh, and last but not least, save the date. As we go into production season, we try to start it off with giving you guys an opportunity to blow up some steam, to get to know each other, especially for the new people. So March 9th, anticipate our pre-production season party.
All right, let's talk production.
Tomorrow is Ed's birthday, by the way, guys.
I'm gonna be doing a lot of drinking, so I'm not thinking anything about it. Next 2 weeks and stuff like that, we will be installing our second case maker. This will be the final cherry and stuff like that on $1.5 million revamp, so entire production revamp stuff that we've done in the backyard and stuff like that. Essentially, this year we've doubled our production capacity. There's a lot of money, spent a lot of time and stuff like that. A lot of games, a lot of sweat, stuff like that. But we've actually essentially doubled all our production capacity. We're coming off a very successful fourth quarter, like Elias mentioned, 90% through stuff on our fourth quarter work and stuff. All of this, honestly, and stuff, going back to Elias' point, wouldn't be possible without the sales and account management. I mean, what's the use of being able to make books and stuff? Nobody sells them, nobody can handle it. So essentially, we've doubled our production capacity. I think Elias and stuff alluded to that a little earlier and stuff like that. We're looking at stuff to double our company in 3 to 7 years. And then, like, you know, people have been here 3 to 7 years. That's not a big deal. We do that every 3 to 7 years. I said, yeah, we do that. That's what we do. Stuff like that, you know? It does make a difference, you know? When you go one school and you double, it's not that big of a deal, you know? You do triple and stuff like that. You have 100 schools and you double and stuff. You're up to 4,000 schools and you double and stuff. It's kind of a big deal. It's really, we're kind of making some waves. I could feel it because next week I will have to be going on my usual vendor trip. So we have vendors on the West Coast. And then, you know, I go by and stuff like that. You know, we talk about how much capacity we're going to send them and stuff. We talk about pricing and stuff. We take a look around, see how they're doing and stuff like that.
I remember the first time I went to there and stuff, our vendor in Phoenix and stuff. I think it was 3-4 years ago. When we were half this size and stuff, I got a 15-minute meeting and stuff with those guys and stuff. They didn't even bring water out to the table. Oh, by the way, Phoenix is a desert. 3 glass of water to guys and stuff like that, flying up 3,000 miles and stuff. This year and stuff like that, 3-4 years later and stuff like that, we go out and stuff like that. Hotel, drinks, dinner, and stuff like that. It's like, hey, come on and stuff. We'll hook you up and stuff like that. So it does make it.
I didn't know they were doing drinks at hotel.
Yeah, he's like, I'm going.
What I'm getting to is, I think these next 3 to as fun as it was for the last 3 to 4 years, I think this will be a pivot year and stuff like that. These, the fact and stuff like that we do have so much in-house capacity and stuff. The fact that the outside sales is getting so much traction and stuff like that. The snowball effect. So I think this will be an exciting time in 3 to 7 years and stuff. Next up.
And thank you, production team, even though I think Mike's the only one here.
We did hire a third printer too.
Oh, good.
Yeah, so
that's big news. What's his name?
Lewis.
Okay, so we'll bug Lewis for proofs. Jason, you want to finish this off? Sorry, we're a little over, guys. We just need a couple more minutes, and we'll let you get back to it.
Okay. Sorry, I couldn't give you all the handbook today. Mike is going to try to do it by the end of the day, but it's online. If you go to admin.
Not yet.
No. It will be online. And I'm just going to go over a few things. It's so nice to have all of you together here. Happy Friday, happy payday Friday. Please check your pay stub online. For your information, it's there. Please check it and look at where. Come over to me and I can show it to you. Just quickly going over the handbook. The holidays are printed. It's also on the company calendar. On the Google Calendar, you should get a notice before. And I do email you the holiday dates before. A few things we have. Let's go to ADP. How many of you are punching in now? Anybody having problems? No.
The app still doesn't work.
Okay. Yeah. Forget the app. Try the clock for some time. I'll fix the app because it's falling into place. It's falling into place, okay? It takes some time to be updated. But everyone has been set on a schedule. So if your schedule changes, you need to send an email to me and copy your manager. If you miss a punch, email me and copy your manager. Okay, that's where it's there in the I'll sit one day and work on it all together. You please check your hours on Friday, whether there's a missing punch. You can miss it. Please don't, the machine is fine, the time clock is fine, but look for reject. It will say rejected. Look there. Don't just punch and walk away. It will say rejected, so look back. But if you miss a punch, just email me and I can fix it. Just to go over, please remember, we have 3 paid personal days for our ADP permanent employees. It approves every payroll period, okay? It's not something that just goes in a bucket 24 hours at the beginning of the year. But that being said, if you need to use that, please get approval from your manager and then your managers can approve it for you. And remember to CC HR and I'll take it. Okay, we have added a couple of things. One is, I'm just going to read from here. Call out on Mondays and Fridays. If an employee is sick and calls out on Mondays and Fridays, he or she will need to bring in a doctor's note for the following day. Failure to do so may result in disciplinary action or up to and including termination. Just trying to get everyone good here. Okay, so I run an attendance and punctuality report, which the schedule will help me. So make sure you don't punch it 5 minutes before or after your scheduled time. But if you need to, like, I think Heather came in for a webinar today. She emailed me saying, I need to come in. She emailed Larry and he approved it and I'll take care of it. So things like that happen, but we are good. Also, what you earn is what you get to keep. So let's say you used all your personal hours. If you're PTO, you use those. But at some point of time during the year, if you decide to part ways, I will adjust that. So whatever you have earned is what you get to keep. If you have earned it, and I'll add it back. If you have not earned it, I'll deduct it. Is that clear to everyone? Another thing is, if you work, only work hours are considered for overtime. So let's just say you work 4 days, and the 5th day on Friday you decide to take a personal day, and you had like 44 hours for the first 4 days. Remember, if you had like 34, it will not be taken into go towards your overtime. Is that clear? I just wanted to make it very clear. Thank you. If you have questions, you can come to me. Or schedules. Lunch. Remember, once you work first 5 hours, there's an automatic lunch punch which goes to 1 hour. You don't have to punch in and out for lunch, but it deducts the 1 hour. If you didn't take lunch, please remember you need pre-approval from your manager. Let me know before. Email the manager and CC me and let me know that you are not going to take lunch. If you're not managing to take lunch, you have to pre-approve. Please remember that. It's pre-approved, not after a week that you say, oh, I didn't take lunch on Thursday. Don't do that. That's pretty much it. We have added a lot. There is guidelines for business travel expenses. There are forms for each. I have updated everything in the handbook. Pretty much it. And there is this last page. I think people are missing the handbook with all the directory of information. You can even with the health insurance, your insurance contacts here. With them. This is online and you can use it. Anyone with any questions?
I hate to end on a note which is all about the HR issues. But let me just say thank you guys. Thank you for being part of Entourage and being part of this journey with us. I'm looking forward to our best production season ever. I'm looking forward to going through this our playoff season arm in arm and shoulder to shoulder with each of you. So please remember to land their schools and good luck out there.
Bye.
How many people joined?
Sean, Ellen, and Jen.
Can you get 10 copies?